Well, hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you are doing well. Thanks so much for stopping on by today. We are underway and in full 1080. So thank you to the last show, which was 2 weeks ago, for us sorting that out. So yeah, I'm pretty excited that we are kind of in a better resolution. Seemed like it took a long time to get to that spot. But hey, it is what it is. And yeah, we'll eventually get to. We'll figure this streaming thing out one of these days. One of these days, right? That's a common occurrence. Today's non-sponsor, for those of you playing along, is not Ember Mugs, but our non-sponsor is Kibo Group. The Kibo Group Coffee and Kibo Group, they are a group that do good work in Uganda. They do good work in Uganda. So supplying jobs and clean water and free internet access and all sorts of cool things. So Kibo Group, check them out. They are in a lot of Christian education institutions here in the United States. They sponsor a lot. They have coffee shops and stuff. In particular, there's one, my former alma mater at Rochester University in Michigan. So there is one there. I believe there's one either at Harding in Arkansas, or I don't know. I can't remember. I thought it was at Harding, but I could be wrong. But anyways, good people there, and there's lots to kind of talk about. But anyway, Keeble Group is our non-sponsor. And non-sponsor, by the way, just for those of you who are very confused by this, is they don't sponsor me. All right, so what else do we got going on here that, I guess I should check my microphone because a good streamer should probably listen in and make sure that he can be heard. Yep, sounds good. You can see that my RE20 is back in action today, and I'm not using my hat microphone. However, if you recall from last show, I did eventually order gaff tape and get it all gaffed together. So you can't even really see it. You can see the gaff tape there. But if I were to replace my New Hope hat with my now wired hat, I'm going to have to retape this so that it stays. But pretty much can't see it. So I love that. And my glasses also need replacement. But, we do what we can. But anyways, the wire's here. And then we can plug that into our Rode Video Go or Wireless Go units and wire that into the show. So pretty exciting stuff. That's something. I will test that out next week because I want to start testing my rig for NAB and making sure that we're good to go there. But it has been a bit of a scattered 2 weeks. Last week we were out of town, went out to Ohio, the great state of Ohio, where my in-laws live, and took a trip, went all the way there in one day, but then took a couple days coming back. We went up on a Monday and then came back down on Thursday, Friday. So that was a fun little trip with the kids, and got to hang out in Ohio for a little bit. Now, I don't know if many of you remember this, but my in-laws' house was hit by a tornado a year ago in March. Literally, the tornado went over their home and left nothing on the property but their house, including several additional things that were built onto the house. Like there was almost like a conservatory greenhouse type of, porch area where my sister-in-law was living at the time. And that got deleted from their house. And also there was several outbuildings, garage, and a couple other things. A greenhouse also removed from the property, and most of those houses were never seen again. They don't know where the contents of those places are, and they assume that they're in the bottom of the lake, which is kind of adjacent to where they live. So we went to see them. Our kids had actually not been there since the tornado. They were there the week before the tornado, and then we were actually there again the week before what would have been the 1-year anniversary. So they've had some rough weather, but no tornadoes. And what's crazy about where they live is that they have really not had tornadoes in that area ever. And so it wasn't really something that they were obviously planning for, but isn't that the way that tornadoes work, is that they don't think that you don't ever expect them to happen to you until they do. So pretty crazy situation. Thankfully, they are well underway of recovering their home and all that stuff, but that was a year ago, and we are now in tornado season again. So everybody's just a little bit gun shy, we'll say. So we were up in Ohio for a week, got some coffee beans from a really great little cafe that was there. I haven't used them yet because I haven't quite figured out coffee beans. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is buying an espresso machine and using them for that. So we shall see. But had some really great coffee while I was there and decided to buy a bag of beans. So we got a giant bag of coffee beans downstairs. Today's coffee is just your regular Tim Hortons maple flavored with our non-sponsor Keeble Group. Okay, so trip to Ohio was great. Back from that last week on Friday, which is why there was no show. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. This week has been a little bit busy. I had a friend over yesterday, actually from the Toronto area. He's a president of a school now, which is wild to think that he was a roommate of mine in high school. I went to a private school, so it's weird to think that guys that I went to school with are presidents of schools. But anyways, he was in town doing some presidential things, and was able to come over last night for dinner and hang out for a little bit. That was awesome. Great to see him always. But right after he left, we got hit with a really bad storm system that ripped through Tennessee, and so ripped through central Tennessee, and a lot of high winds mostly, and then some hail and a fair bit of rain. So what that did was knock our power out for the night. And I was a little bit nervous that this show wouldn't even go off because, excuse me, hold on. Okay, my mute button. Yeah, okay. All right. So I pressed the mute button, but it didn't mute. Fantastic. So he left, and then we got hit by the storm, which knocked our power out. And I was a little bit nervous that the show wasn't going to happen. But also, I needed to be at my kid's school this morning because of a little presentation they were doing for my son. And so the whole morning routine was messed up. And then I was out there, and then I came home, and the bad weather has knocked down some trees, so I had to go a roundabout way. So it's just been a total mess. The power did come back on right before I left for their school, so that was convenient. But I do have a generator, so, push comes to shove, I could easily power Starlink with a generator and probably this entire rig. So we could easily go off of a generator if we needed to, as long as the gas doesn't run out. So we're not always down and out, and I will probably put in a transfer switch. I just got to think through how I'm going to do that, because in this new build, it's all flush mounted and everything. And so that's going to be an additional challenge to do that. All right, let's jump over here. Hey, Angus, how's it going? Good morning. Hopefully you are well, and it's not too cold out there in Western Canada. Welcome. Always a pleasure to have you along for the ride. Okay, so a couple of things that I wanted to just kind of cover. I bought a one of these Anker HDMI switchers, and it just comes in this little. Anker is very generic with their marketing, so it's just a blue and white box. Usually it doesn't show what the product is, whatever. But the issue that I was having is I have purchased a laptop that I'm going to use for work and various things, and I wanted to get a laptop dock so that I could run it onto a monitor. Now, up top, I've got 3 screens at the bottom, and then up top I've got another screen that I use for my my work computer, which is a Mac Mini. And so I have it up top. That's kind of like where that is, and I can mirror that screen and use it down here on one of these screens. But it's all good. It's a convenient workflow for me. So I've got 4 monitors looking at me. Technically 5 if I count the teleprompter, and technically 6 if I count the I have a confidence monitor on top of the camera to show me vector scopes and whatever. So I got lots of screens, and I do like having the additional screen up top. I was going to buy another monitor, but I decided against that because I really don't need that. I think the next thing that I'm going to do is probably get a TV, but I want to do that after I move into my office space. So I want to just be able to switch between my laptop, which would be plugged into a dock, and my Mac Mini. But I've noticed, I don't know what it is, maybe it's just quality of cables or something, but when I initially turn on that screen, now with this little HDMI switcher, and it's a non-powered switcher, like it's very basic, and was not expensive at all, mind you. The screen does like crazy things. Like it's almost like it's trying to find the resolution, or like it's trying to find. But anyways, it has like a snow effect on it, and it's really crazy. So I'm not too convinced that was the right purchase. It doesn't seem to be very consistent. But I tell you that story to tell you this story. I did end up buying an actual Anker dock. It's a device dock. But what's really neat about this, and I've actually bought this one before, and I have one downstairs, is that, and I'll unbox this on camera. Actually, I will unbox it on camera. What's really neat about this thing is it works pretty well, like almost every time, with all the devices that I've plugged into it. So my wife has a laptop that she uses, a personal laptop and a work laptop. And then I will have a laptop here in about a week. And then I've got an iPad, my iPad Pro, which is over there. It takes a fair bit of juice and power to run, and so sorry, I'm just going to turn off my notifications. So it would be kind of nice to have the ability to have this dock, have all of the options. You with a dock like this, you get you get USB ports back, you get USB-C. You get an HDMI out, a proper HDMI out, and then you get 90 watts of power. So there's a DC adapter inside here that delivers power, which will charge any of your laptops. And if my laptop's going to be housed up here, like when I'm not using it, I'm going to plug it into the dock, then it'll constantly be charged, which will be nice. So I don't have to worry about the power adapter, which when I ordered it, it's a 70 watt power adapter, so it'll be plenty fast enough. But this is actually a 90 watt, and that'll be great for fast charging and keeping it all charged up. Now I can show you the actual unit that I purchased because I bought it on Amazon. And it is a Anker, scroll down here. It is an Anker USB-C docking station. It is a 9-in-1 PD dock. Oh, it's 60 watts, not 90 watts. And let me just throw this up here. It's about -3, Angus says. Should be above freezing within the next few hours. And that's handy. It is going to be a handy device because I can hide this basically or put it at the back of a desk. And then my HDMI switcher is basically just to switch between my laptop device and my Mac. And I don't think I'm going to be using them both at the same time. We'll find out, of course, in the short future. I've been using a Sonnet Echo dock for all of my computers. They have Thunderbolt pass-through, USB, HDMI, and 2.5 gig Ethernet. Yeah, this one is, I think, just gig Ethernet. And my network is not that robust in terms of data transfer and whatever, but I'm definitely going to need to take, I need the ability to be on the road. And my iPad gets me almost half of the way there, but I also am lacking just the convenience that is a laptop. So we've been kind of waiting and saving, and we decided just to kind of go with it and get a proper laptop for the stuff that I'm doing, which there's a fair bit of it. All right, let me show you this real quick. All right, here is. So this is the device, and it's fairly small. It's not, it's not bulky or anything like that. It does have a big DC power supply, like I said. So I'm going to tape and mount all of that to the underside of the desk, and then I'll put the dock probably at the back of the desk next to all the USB hubs and everything that I've got running for the big machine, and just make it convenient to plug in my laptop here at the desk, charge it up, and also have a whole bunch of options when it comes to power for devices. There's your laptop power right there, 5 gigabits on, I think that's USB-A 3.0. There's a headphone jack, which is kind of nice if you want headphones. And then on the back side, gigabit Ethernet, USB-A ports. There's a display port, and there is a HDMI port. So convenient, that's for sure. And this will basically do everything. Now, I bought one of these when I was at Bird Dog. I bought one of these for a laptop station that we made with a standing desk, and it was just kind of a communal area. And the way that I pitched it to the guys was, to my employees, was, look, if you need a break from your office and you need a change of scenery and you want to stand or sit, I mean, you could lower the standing desk, but if you just want to change, you bring your device over here, plug it in, and off you go. And then we also had a couple of other Mac Minis that were there as workstations if people just wanted to log in and use it. So that worked well, but that was my first exposure to this unit, and I liked it so much that I bought one for my wife's workstation downstairs. And I have her like a little 15-inch portable monitor, and so when she sits down, she has her laptop open, and she has a little portable monitor, and it gives her kind of twice as much space, real estate. So that's a convenient way to give her more real estate in her kind of work office situation here at home. And she doesn't use it a ton. Matter of fact, I use it probably more than she does. But my iPad plugs in there, and it mirrors on iPad to start. So it's kind of convenient to have that big screen down there compared to my iPad. But anyway, so this is the device that I currently have. Now, there is a funny little configuration issue where Mac OS won't let you do 3 screens. It'll only let you do 2. So you can do your A screen and B screen. That's totally fine. You could do A with everything extended, or you can do just A, and then your externals are both the same screen. So it's like a weird driver. I think I heard that the latest update with Mac is they've enabled the ability to do this, but I don't know if it's an Anchor restriction or if it is a Mac restriction. I don't know. But if you go to the PCs, see Windows, you can do all three. So I think it's a Mac restriction and not necessarily a restriction on the way that the Anchor distributes the information. So hopefully maybe one day they will open that up and we'll be able to enjoy that extra little feature. All right. Let me think about a way to do this to where you guys can see. I do have a webcam, so I can certainly do that. I just need a way to show this where you guys can see it. So I'm going to go back to my main shot here, and this is not very long in terms of okay, that might work. It's not a very long USB webcam. I do got to make a space on my desk because, like, it says birthday cards are sitting here for some reason, and lots of junk on my desk. I clean this off about once a month, and then about 1 week later, it's already covered in garbage again. So we are really close, getting really close to NAB. I'm getting kind of excited about going on that trip, and mostly because I'm really anxious to see what is coming out in the market. And I saw some, like a little pet project that I have, is I saw Insta360 made an announcement, something about stay tuned. I'm really hoping that oh, and there looks like they've got a sale going on, so they might be liquidating things. I'm really hoping that the stay tuned thing is going to be the 1-inch lens update, because it's long overdue for it. We've all been kind of holding out. Those of us, let me back up. Some of us have been holding out for a 1-inch sensor, which would be a high performance, low light situation. Because when I go on trips with my family or whatever, common there, you're going to want to shoot a little video in low light, and you really need that big sensor, that 1-inch sensor. And again, that it doesn't mean a 1-inch, actual 1-inch sensor, but that large sensor to capture all of that low light data. And the X4 actually does pretty well compared to the old 1-inch. But if you go to the Insta360 website, you can't buy the 1-inch anymore. And so that's a bummer, because that's the one I want. But I suspect what's coming out is an upgrade to the action camera, which I can't believe that there's still an action camera market, because not that many people are active. So it's a little strange to me that they're still pushing it, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, let me go to Facebook here, because I think that's where I saw it. Yeah. Insta360. They keep doing these weird promos for other things, but I just saw... Give me 1 second. Here we go. So here is the announcement. My concern about this is that this red line around it is what their action camera looks like. And I'm kind of sick and tired of action cameras, because I've owned a GoPro. I have a GoPro here under my feet, actually. And it's fine, but I'm not really using it for action camera things. And it's kind of a bummer, because it takes a while to get out and set up, and it's a little slow on the boot up. It's an older one, so whatever, but it just, I don't want an updated action camera. That's not what I want. I want to actually shoot video on a 1-inch sensor, a 360 video on a 1-inch sensor. I have the Insta360 Evo, which is a discontinued 360 and 180 camera. And to be honest with you, other than it overheats, it's pretty cool. Like, it does what I want to do. It does what I want it to do, because I went kind of hard in on the VR world and I've bought multiple VR headsets, mostly because, and this is going to sound so stupid, I think, mostly because I want to film like family vacations in VR in 360 and then relive those moments with my kids, or go on trips like to Vegas, for example, and shoot video of what I got to see or what I got to do. So, NAB, and then share that with my kids. Here's what I was here's what I did. And I've even gone an extra step. And many of you know this already, but I've even gone an extra step, and I have 3D audio. If you're not familiar with 3D audio, okay, it's actually 3DO is the company that I got this from, and I bought it off of somebody. I bought it for the institution. I knew the institution wasn't using it, so then I bought it off of them. But anyways, I went 3D audio, and if you pair this with a 360 video, you're there. I mean, you're there in the room quite literally. And I've gone on walks through the woods with my kids with a rig that is 360 video and 360 audio, and you put those headphones on, and you put a nice set of headphones on, and you put on the VR headset, and you're walking in the woods. Like, I can see my kids. My son was 4 years old when I took that video. It's bizarre, actually, to go back there and to see him that little. But those are the sort of things. That's why I want it, because everything, it's not stretched like a picture, or people aren't made to look tiny. Everything is just as it was in that moment. And so it's a really cool experience. Now, the Evo also had the ability to do 180 3D video. So if you are mounting the camera, then you could set it up to do 180 degrees 3D as your eyes would see it. And that is a really cool thing if you're, again, walking, if you mount it to, like, I mounted it to a cruise balcony when I was on a trip, and you put the headset on, and you're sitting on your cruise balcony again, and I don't have the money to go traveling to cruising all the time. And so it was a good use, and I could set it up and I could forget it. I hit record on my phone and I walked away, and I came back 20 minutes later and hit stop, put it on I had a laptop. I put it on the laptop. I rendered that video on the cruise and got rid of the massive file because it was humongous, but I got rid of the raw footage. And I just had this really nice 180 3D video of leaving. Where were we? We were leaving Ketchikan, I think. And so I have this really cool video. So I kind of go pretty hard into the 3D world, or into the 360 world. Now, they have not announced a camera that will do 180 like the Evo used to. The Evo was a hinged camera, and so you could like flip it out, and then it would turn into left-right 180, or you could snap it together and had a little lock on it, and then it was a 360 camera. Now, in the 360 configuration, it was actually quite like, it had heating issues, and so there were batteries on both sides powering the lenses, and it would just get overly hot, and so you could only shoot in 360 for a very limited amount of time, and very limited being like 15-20 minutes. But if you shot it at 180, it did a little better with the heat management stuff. But that camera is discontinued, and they don't make it anymore. They don't even support it, and I have it. It actually still works for me. I take it on family vacations and things like that still, and occasionally shoot video on it. But if we were to go on another big trip, we were going to go across the country or something like that, I definitely want to have the ability to capture those memories while being on that trip, because the kids are little and they're not really going to remember a lot of the details, and this is a good way to allow you to capture that. Now, as I understood it, the 1-inch lens, the former 1-inch 360 Insta360 camera, took pretty high quality. So it was a 4K lens stretched, so it's 1080, I believe. It's basically 1080 quality. It means the files would be humongous again, but the detail would be there, and you'd be able to see the detail pretty well. The complaint I have about the Evo is it's basically they're 1080 lenses, and so when you stretch that into 4 quadrants, then it turns into 720. So on a nice, HTC Vive Elite headset that I have here, this is the basically their second iteration of it. In a nice headset like that with high pixels, everything's going to look a little fuzzy. So as the headsets get better, the lenses, it's just like any camera, the pictures get a little bit reduced. So there's that. All right, let me catch up here in the chat. Hey, I put my docks in a rack with my BirdDog 4K HDMIs to make a GFX rack. I'll send you a picture. Yes, please do. Hey, I like that idea. 180 3D VR seems like a great option. Canon does 3D VR lenses for the R5 and the R7. Yes, I've seen those. I don't think they're cheap, though. The R5 is full 180, but the one for the R7 is only 144 degrees. Oh, weird. That's a little strange. I'd like to see the footage from that lens on a headset. See if it's worth buying. Yeah, so I would love to see what those lenses look like, because that might be a good way to do it. You really need a big sensor, though, because people are like, oh, it's a 4K camera. That doesn't really mean too much, because when you stretch it around into a full 360, now 180 would be higher quality, but if you stretch it around to 360, what I love about 360 video, though, is, especially when you shoot your own, is that it puts you back there. Like, it does really put you back there. And if you capture the audio correctly, then it really puts you there. Because when my kids are playing on the shores of the Mendenhall Glacier and they're throwing rocks into the water, I can put the headphones on and my son runs by and I hear his footsteps pass left to right and in spatial, on the correct spatial stage, meaning that as he runs, the sound actually sounds not like it's coming into my left ear, but like it's coming into my left forward, and he runs across to the right. Well, I'm watching him do that. When I'm recording, I'm literally just holding the camera still. And if I know, like, I want to follow my son, I might want to mount my 3D audio to the bottom of that selfie stick. That's the 360 selfie stick. And then just kind of pan across so that my ears would be turning to listen to him run across. But like, I have video of them playing there, and it's a really cool experience. Now, I don't think I set up this microphone for that video, to be truthful, because it was a lot of setup and takedown. So I got to streamline that a little bit. But I do have them playing in a local park, and I was using this right before we went on that trip. It was kind of a big secret for us to take them on that trip, so I was testing things out but not telling them what we were doing. But they know that I'm a giant nerd, so it was not strange for Dad to have camera equipment. And I would just say, I'm just trying it out. I'm just seeing what it looks like. Okay, let's clear a spot on my table here. Okay, cleared a spot off on my table, and I'm going to put my coffee up here. And we can do an unboxing, but the first thing I want to do is I need to create a blank input. So create blank input, and we're going to create 2 layers. The first layer, and I can put this over as soon as I kind of get this sorted. I don't know if picture-in-picture is what we want to do here, but put the webcam there, and then I'm going to put my picture down the bottom, and I'm going to move myself over to the side, and I'm going to crop this so that we can see more of the table. Okay. Perfect. So let's switch over to this one real quick and just make sure that, hey, you can see everything. This is my webcam. It is a little overexposed. So we can open up the option to adjust the settings. Image adjust. Oh, there it goes. So, okay, we'll increase the exposure slightly and then bring this up so you can see it. Now, what is this? Oh, it's just trash. Okay, so here is my desk, and let's take a quick look at the, oh, wowzers. Let's turn the exposure down. It's a white box, so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around. Layers, position, yeah. Webcam, and we're going to rotate so that I can actually do this upside down, and then it will look right side up to you. Okay, cool. So there is yoink that. And then I just want to adjust this exposure one more time because it's a little hard to look at, right? The lighting on this desk is not ideal for what it is that we're doing here, but whatever. So this is that Anker dock that I'm going to use. Fairly straightforward packaging. We'll get our little pocket knife. Remember, a man without a knife is a man without a life. So get yourself a high quality pocket knife. And if you are so inclined to know what I'm using, this is a Kershaw knife. Not my favorite model of this. I believe this is the Leek. Let me look. Ooh, it's dirty. But anyways, Kershaw knives. I was introduced to these knives from a former employer of mine who taught me the phrase, a man without a knife is a man without a life. But they're really good little knives and really helpful to have if you're opening a lot of boxes, like when Amazon rolls up in my house. So, okay, so let's go ahead and have a little look. Slowly. Come on. And almost there. There we go. All right. There it is. That's pretty nice and really clean. I don't know why it's ribbed like this, but it's a really clean little device and is really simple to use. So we've got our power, we've got our connection to our computer, and then we've got headphones and USB-A 3.0. And then on the back, we've got two more USB-As that are, I think they're just 1.0, a 1 gig port, display port, HDMI, and the DC power for the unit itself. It does also have a little button on the front right there. You can't really see it too well, but oh, you can see it just fine. But little button on the front. So that is convenient. All right, let's check out the rest of this real quick. Also, let me just make sure. Yeah. Hey, is that the Insta360 Ace Pro 2? So going back to this real quick, just because, yeah, I feel like we didn't finish this conversation. I think it's another upgrade for their stupid action camera, and I really hate action cameras. I don't think it's the reason why GoPro has kind of imploded over the past couple of years, because they kind of were advertising themselves to like the athletic market, but also like the extreme market. And like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why we watch guys doing extreme skiing is because we don't do that. And so I'm not going to buy this action camera because I'm going to think that action camera is for your extreme sport, right? It's not encouraging me to become an extreme sport person. It's just like it totally misses the majority of the market. You want this to be convenient enough to where it's like, this is the family camera. Hey, if something's happening in your family, click this little record button and snap it on your hat or your chest or whatever. Like have it to where it's convenient. Now, Insta, I think, tried to answer this by doing the Insta360 Go, and it's like a little pendulum, clip-on, like lavalier almost. You like clip it on your shirt, and then you're supposed to like walk around and show everybody your life. But again, I think the emphasis for cameras for the general market, I don't find that that's I don't know. And also, by the way, mounting a camera to your body is not a great idea. Mounting it to your head is a better idea because when we walk, we actually hold our head still. Like our neck does a lot of like shock absorption. Whereas when we clip it to your shirt, you're going to get a lot of this, like whatever. And then they've got to introduce all this stabilization stuff. And so if you want a smoother video, actually clip it to a hat, or, find a convenient way to clip it to your head and not your neck. But regardless of that, I think that the market, well, and I have another thing that I'm frustrated with Insta360 is not all their cameras are 360. Which, like, it's your name. That's what you're supposed to be doing is 360 stuff. And I think they realized, they're like VR didn't really take off like everybody thought it was going to, and we named our company after capturing 360-degree footage. And so then they kind of pivoted to, well, if you have a 360 camera, you never have to stage the shot. You do it all in post. You decide where the camera looks after the fact. And so you just capture everything, and then you just edit out what you want. The other piece, though, then, Insta360 has these Go cameras or these little action cameras that are not 360 cameras. And again, it's like I wouldn't film myself driving to work every day. That's not something I would think. I better grab my camera. Anyway, so I think the market for this conversation is more about, and hey, Sean, I see you. Welcome to the show. I think the market for these types of cameras, like you got to go back to the family camera. Like when they were pushing camcorders ages ago, back in the 80s and 90s, it was like capture those moments that you otherwise will lose. That's what this should really be. That's what I use it for. It's like when I go on a trip, I could take 1,000 pictures, or I could take one video and relive that moment over and over and over. And that's what I love about video, is it allows you to capture those sorts of moments. And then if you can do it in an all-encompassing video format, like in 360, and you wear a headset to do it, that's even cooler, because you don't even have to direct the video. You just go for the experience and then relive that experience. And every time you wear the headset and watch that video, you can be looking in a different place. It can be a different video every time. I can't tell you how many times I've looked at those cruising 360 videos. We went in 2019, and just my wife and I, and man, I showed those to my kids when we got home. I watched those in my headset. If I'm stressed about something, like I put on the balcony video and I just sit on my cruise balcony for 30 minutes, and it's great. It's so good. So reliving those moments, I think that is really where this, like the action camera market needs to pivot to really hit a broad market of, hey, you need a camera in your pocket. And then you take these high quality 4K videos, and then you get to relive those moments, whether it's an action camera or not. Okay, so I think it's an upgrade for their stupid action camera. That's what I think it is. Whereas if you look at the comment section, look at this. X3 is garbage for filming in low light environments. Insta360 needs an update. Oh, there's 10 replies here. The update has been existing for quite a while. It's now X2, X3, X4. I can't expect to have an iPhone 1 to have Siri or Apple Pay feature. All right, come on, dude. 360 camera that takes photos that don't completely suck would be nice. Try one of the newer 1-inch type sensors with double or triple the conversion gain. Yeah, for the love of God, no more crappy half-inch sensors, please. Seriously, if they come out, okay, so the 1-inch was like a modular thing, like you could clip it together and you put it in the case and yada yada yada. It allowed you to buy another 1-inch sensor if something happened to it. That was kind of nice. So look at this. Insta360 X5 1-inch. Like there's lots of people asking for 1-inch sensor. And the reason is because it can take high quality photos, do high quality video, but seriously do amazing photos in low light. And that's really, I mean, there's a huge market waiting for that to happen. So I think it's kind of nice that everybody's kind of harping on that. But all right, so let's get back to this. So let's unbox the remainder of this now that we've had the little side tour. So here is our USB-C cables for power. And then our DC adapter is in here. So we've got this humongous brick that will do 60 watts, which is nice. And then our just the power adapter for that DC unit. A user manual if it's not self-explanatory for you. And that's basically it. So very simple setup. Convenient. I don't have to tape it down, but I probably will because I like to just have everything mounted and don't have to worry about it falling apart or getting pushed around by cable tension and whatever. So looking forward to having this in my rig, especially now that I'm getting a laptop. It's going to be so nice to be able to plug it in, charge it, have a second monitor, be able to switch between my HDMI inputs. I don't know why the HDMI thing is messing up, but I have bought, this is now my third one that I've bought of these. One I did for Bird Dog, and then I have bought one for my wife, and now I have one up here because I like it so much. Don't care for the design as much, but it works really well and is not super expensive. You can buy 12-in-1s that are $130 or yada, 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 but quite frankly, I'm not going to need that. I'm going to have USB ports that I need, USB-A and USB-C, and I'm going to have headphone jack, which is nice because Apple doesn't believe in that for some reason. And then I'm going to have hardline internet, which you all know is super important to me. Hardline internet, hardline all the things. Don't you dare tell me that Wi-Fi is just as good. And then, and then adequate power. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to get that all kind of rigged out this afternoon and be ready. I can bring my iPad over. I'm the type of guy that has a USB-C hub for my iPad. So when I sit on the couch, I have hardline internet on the couch, and I have a wireless keyboard. So again, my iPad works pretty well. It just lacks just a few of the features. I'd like to sit on my couch downstairs and be able to remote in and work on my computer natively, or be able to just work on stuff down on my lap. So I'm excited about getting another computer. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, all right, that is the unboxing of the Anker 60-watt 9-in-1 USB-C dock. Looking forward to that. And again, it's not a big, it's not a very big unit, and it'll fit nicely on my desk. Little mounting tape. Man, concrete tape is my best friend. I use that stuff everywhere. And my former employees at Bird Dog will be able to confirm this, that I am notorious for using concrete tape everywhere I go. I think I've converted a couple of them into liking it. Now, let's circle around one more time. My concern, the reason why this photo doesn't look like a 1-inch lens to me is because they keep posting things about Insta360 Ace Pro 2. And, oops, wrong one. Sorry, guys. Insta360 Ace Pro 2. They have all these promo videos, and it says co-engineered with Letica, which is the, let me just mute this. But it's the same. I think this is what they're implying, is getting upgraded, and action cameras. Again, I'm not doing this stuff. It's cool footage, but it means nothing to me. I might do this. I might eat pizza. That's about as extreme as I go. But I'm not doing this. And so it's annoying. That's this is what this camera's for. And it's what is that? 2% of the population does this sort of stuff? No, it's not me. I'm never going dirt biking like this. It's just not. Or mountain biking or whatever. I don't even know what it's called. Anyway, rant over. Sorry. I just had to. Oh, there. See, look. And there's the lens. And so I'm a little bit nervous that that's what we're talking about, is that they're going to upgrade to that. It's extremely disappointing if that is what it is that's what they're going to do. Because I feel like there's a huge market of guys waiting for the 1-inch to come out, and they keep coming out with these 1/2-inch sensors. And The X4, granted, I've watched the footage from the comparison of X4 and 1-inch, and there's actually a really great 360 camera guy on YouTube, which I kind of want to like promote a little bit here. His name's, maybe I'm missing it here. Where is he? He's super popular. Why his videos are not at the top of the list, I don't know, because he does such a good job. Insta360. Do you remember when we watched the Insta360 announcement? And they were like, we're just getting started. And then they rolled the credits, and that was the end of the video. I was so mad. I was so mad about that because I felt like they should have been announcing the 1-inch as well, and they didn't. Here he is. Ben. I was right. Ben Claremont. This dude, I have learned to trust his reviews, and he does a lot of 360 comparison videos, not just in the Insta360 world, but which camera should you buy? And he's had many of them. So, Ben, where are your videos about? There we go. Yeah, reframing Insta360 footage. He's got lots of videos about my brutal honest review. We might need to watch that one. This one, 360 camera should you buy in 2014. He mounts them all to a bar, and then he walks around and talks about the differences in their footage and what he has and hasn't done to edit. So, I wonder what this is about. Time for a change. He may be getting more into not just 360 videos, but just video in general. But anyways, really cool, really good reviews, and worth, if you're interested at all in the 360 world, look up Ben Claremont. He might be a guy worth checking out. So, I'm kind of waiting for that update to the Insta360 1-inch. I don't know if it's ever going to happen because it seems like they keep discontinuing all the cameras that I like. I did really like the Insta Evo. I think that it needed a second gen, and for them to really think about how to execute, especially with heat, that really needed to be addressed on that camera. But not Japan. Get out of here. I just went to the Insta360 Japan site. 360 cameras. Here we go. View all. I think they still have the Evo on the website as like an honorable mention. Or maybe not. Maybe they got rid of it. Insta360. Hang on. .com/Evo. Looks like maybe you're in the wrong place. All right, let's try this. Here it is. So, yes, this is the former. The website's still alive. It's just they don't make it anymore. So, I have recorded Christmas morning when my kids were really little. I set this up in 3D mode, like that 180 open, and just put it on the Christmas or on our fireplace mantle. And Bird Dog Dexter, if you guys remember my old dog, he makes several appearances in those videos, and you can see him aging over the years. So I think I did like 2021, 2022, a couple of Christmas videos, like Christmas morning. My kids were really little, and just getting to kind of relive them coming down in the morning, and Dexter's there, and wife and I are there, and yeah, it's fun to have those memories, especially in something that you can see the kids, but you can see how little they are. They're in 3D. They're actually like the shape that they were, and how tiny they were. So my son is just a toddler, like he's just starting to walk, and yeah, really cool to have those memories. And a camera like this is versatile enough to where you can, you can capture those things. What's also cool is I have all these pictures here, 360 photos, and it's not going to come across very well on stream on stream, but let me just view these as icons and then I can show you. So we went, for example, to the Detroit Zoo the year before we left Michigan, and actually the year we left Michigan. So this would have been last year. And let me just pull up one of these. So we went to this is shot on the Insta3, that Evo camera. And is there a way to show actual resize image? Oh, no. I want to just view the actual size, because if you zoom in, then you can kind of see, we were there at the chimpanzee exhibit, but this is all the way around, So this side lines up with this side. So it's a globe is the way that you think of it. But then if you zoom in, then it kind of flattens the picture, and then you can kind of explore the actual venue. I noticed that a lot of my photos, I think I'm aiming it backwards all these years, because I'm always in the middle. But the thing that I'm not interested in, these park benches are always in the middle of the shot, and that's not helpful. So here's my boy. We were waiting for the girls to get down in the restroom, but here's just a picture of this little sunny kiosk at the Detroit Zoo that we were sitting in. What's also really neat, hey, that's pretty neat, is you can take 3D pictures. So these are 360 pictures, but you can take, let me just cut over here, make sure that this is what I think it is. Yes. Here's another 360 picture. And what I was shooting at here was up here, there's a peacock nesting. And so one of these shots, yeah, she's in here. And I think she's right here. You can see her head right there. So she's nesting in this little weird roost. And so all I did is I extended the camera, and I just held it up in the air and took a picture. You just press photo on your phone. You don't have to press a button on the unit. You just press it with your thumb on your phone, and it takes a picture. And that is so convenient, because you can kind of put it in conspicuously in places, mount it somewhere, put it wherever you want, and then walk away, and you can be in the frame. So you see my wife is down there on the ground. I'm here. I think my kids are running around somewhere, but there's this peacock right here. Well, it was just the camera head that went up. I didn't have to peek my head in or anything. And I took a picture, and then when I got home, I spent a long time looking for her, but there she is. It's kind of nestled down there in the weeds. Same thing here, 360. This is at the terminal for our cruise that we took with our kids. There are the kids there. But again, I'm in the middle, and it's pointed the wrong way. So I think I had my lenses backwards. Now you can take 3D pictures. So when you wear this in your VR headset, you'll notice that each of these pictures are just slightly off, because that's the way your eyes are offset. But then when you merge them together, it looks like you're actually standing on the balcony. So it's a really neat idea to be able to capture memories like this. You need some equipment to relive them, like a headset. But, we acquire things over time. It's not something that you go and you do all at once. Here's another good example of a 360 picture. This is in a restaurant. In 2019, when we went, the first time we went to Alaska, we were walking around the ship on the first day. And I took this photo inside this restaurant, because it was just completely empty, but they let guests walk around and kind of get acclimated to the environment. And so my wife and I, we went into this restaurant, and I told her, hey, I'm going to take a 360 picture. And so that's her hand. She hid behind a pillar, which is so funny. She's just I don't want to be in the photo. So she hid behind the pillar. But then this restaurant was completely empty. Not another person sitting or walking through or visiting. So I got this really cool kind of empty, unique shot. Same thing with this. This is the auditorium on this ship doesn't actually belong to Princess anymore, but this was the auditorium in that ship. And when you wear a headset, you're sitting in the seat. Like, what I love is, like, you're literally sitting in the auditorium and watching. I actually took a picture in 180 while a presentation was going on, and so you can actually see the people sitting here. And I basically just put it in my lap where my eyes were and took a picture. So it looks like you're sitting here. So really cool. Like, now what I want is I want a better lens, because that's what happens, right? You get, and these lenses were like, I don't know, 1/3 or something like that. Like, they're terrible. Let's go back to that. All the pictures are open. Okay. So here, the lens sizes, it's an 18 megapixel camera, but the lenses were not something to write home about. Let's go down here to the specs. Okay. So aperture gets down to 2.2. That's not bad. But if you're going to shoot in 4K or in 2K, then you have to run it at 30 frames, which is okay, but 60 frames would be better, because you really want to have the highest resolution, but 60 frames kind of looks lifelike, whereas 30 frames or 24 frames looks more movie-like. So there's that. Let me pop this over here. Just keep an eye on what you guys are saying. I feel the same way about all the cinema stuff from my live production brands. Ooh, interesting. But device specs, like, it's an 18 megapixel camera, but where's the lens? Photo and video specs, design, storage capacity, battery. So it doesn't even do a very good job. Like, they don't even tell you what size the lens is, other than it's an 18 megapixel lens. I will say this 6-axis gyroscope stabilization is pretty cool. Like, you can take the camera and then you can point it down and point it up, and it all stays level. Now, there is a stitched line that you can see on this first gen camera, because something's up with the quality of the lenses, because one is a little bit blurry and one is pretty clean. And so if you're holding the camera up, for example, I took a video, we were sitting on our balcony, and an airplane, we were leaving Ketchikan, and an airplane, a Beaver plane for you Canadians, came across and landed it kind of in front of us. I think he was showing off, but he landed in front of us and or passed by us and was coming in to land. And I had the camera, one lens pointed that way and one lens pointed this way and one lens pointed that way, and I held it like this, and there's a definite line right down the middle of the balcony, and as the plane comes by, it's like fuzzy, 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 and then like clear. Like, there's a definite like bump in the specs, and I don't know why one lens is better than another, because I feel like they should be identical, but alas, there we are. Let me see if I can find that leaving. You'll probably be able to see it. Leaving Ketchikan. This is the video here. All right, so here we are. So look, you can see my body. You can see that stitch line right there, right? And, I wonder, are you guys going to be able to hear this? Because that would be pretty cool. I don't have a proper... There you go. You can hear the airplane. So as it passes across, so let's back that up just a smidge. So here it comes. But then as it passes this halfway point on this lens, it changes right there. You can almost see it. It's probably pretty hard on the stream. Right there. It gets into focus. See, it's kind of blurry, clean. And it's like all of a sudden you can see the shape of the airplane really clean again. Let me see if there's a way that I can... Is there a way to zoom in on video so that we can... There's got to be a way. Right? Maybe not in Media Player. Let's try... Open with Movies and TV. Oh, I hear like freezing rain outside. Or maybe just rain. Zoom to fill? No, that's not really helpful. I'm sure I could do it in VLC. So let's try that. Well, let's cancel the requirements here for this one. Open with VLC. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so here's an interesting... Whoa. Here's an interesting shot. It knows that it's a 360 video. And we can zoom in. VLC for the win! All right, so look at this. See that plane? How it's like not clear? It almost looks like it's pulsing. Like it's going past pulse, pulse, pulse. And then right about here, it cleans up. And it's no longer pulsing. And it's just a clean image of it going down. It's so weird. I don't quite understand it. That's the Tiny Earth. This is kind of like what we're looking at here, though. Let's just put this on repeat. But yeah, here we are sailing away. You're welcome. That song's going to be in your head now. Sailing away. And yoink. Full screen. We'll turn up the volume here so maybe we can hear the airplane go by. Maybe not. No. Oh, you know why? I know why. Because the playback is NDI. Because I did it as a backup for music, and so I don't need that. Here it is. Audio. Output. Device should be... comp. Right here. Save. Okay, let's try this again. Whoops. Yoink. All right. So here we are. What is this? Undock for full screen? Oh, we still can't. Audio's still not coming through. Anyways, here's that airplane. So here we are at the Mendenhall Glacier. There are my kids, see? And like, they're so little. But you can literally stand here and re-experience this. Now in VLC, this looks pretty good. Like the pixels. I mean, my wife always looks good. But the pixels are pretty, like condensed pretty well there. But the Knutson. Sorry, hang on. I'll get back to you. VLC handles 360 video. Oh, weird. Oh, yeah. So I eventually. It's so funny. I land on the solution, but the one that you're suggesting, and I'm ignoring the chat. Yes, but I usually come around to that solution, then I come back to the chat. And I'm like, oh, if I had paid attention to Angus about 10 minutes ago, I would have already been able to go to that. Anyway, that looked like de-interlacing interpolation on one lens only. Yes, I think that's exactly what it is.
Here comes the rain.
And I don't get it. So I want to put the camera down here at their level, so that they could experience, like, this is how I look huge compared to at their size. But if they put the headphones on, I want them to feel like they're standing on the water. So, oh, you landed on it just after I said it. I was complaining about the you are welcome. So yeah, so this whole playing, this is what I love about this, and it takes an extra step to do this. This is so strange. This video starts out like the gyroscope's not level, so look, it's like turning a bit. This is one of the things that I was telling you about. Like, I just mounted on a tripod, on a steady tripod. Actually, the one that this whole rig is on. I put this tiny camera on it and I just left it. And this is a 2-minute video of just us sailing. And it's awesome. Now, I don't know if I did any 360 audio on that trip. But I did do 360 audio on a walk that we had. 360 videos, other down by the water, walk in the forest. So I did this one. I feel like this is good testament to this camera. It's quite an old camera now. Oh, this is Christmas. Sorry, wrong one. This one. Like, this video is not terrible. Now, this one is taken on the 360 audio. This was my little test before we went to Alaska. So this camera... Let me zoom in here. Okay. Wait. Oh, this is flattened. Oh, this video's flattened. That's weird. It doesn't know it's 360.
What they do in the...
Yeah.
Here.
Video...
Now the flies, if they go to my
How do I tell it
leg,
that it's a
touch
360
it,
video?
throw it this way away.
I think it should be away. But anyways.
Yeah.
But like, you can see in my hand here. Oh, maybe you can't. In my hand, there is the little... the microphone, the 3DO microphone. Now, I've changed... I didn't like the white earmuffs, and so I changed it to a... Actually, they're Japanese. I don't know why they needed to come from Japan, but anyways, these were not expensive covers for the 3DO, and it's a little bit more inconspicuous than the other ones. So anyways, this little camera has been pretty good in terms of, like, it still works. I have it downstairs. It's in my bag. And actually, is it downstairs? Hang on one second. Yeah, okay, it's downstairs. It still works. Like, it holds a charge. The batteries work. I can charge it up and use it. Battery is not great, and it overheats. So there you go. Like, it was a Gen 1. I'm just kind of disappointed that Insta360 doesn't have a camera like this. Like, they really should have a market for 180 3D or 360 versatile camera that has maybe 1-inch lenses on it. I would probably pay for that, because that would give me the best of both worlds. Now, I have resolved to probably end up getting a 1-inch camera. If they came out with it, I would probably buy it, and forego the 3D thing, because the 360 is cool enough for my vacations and stuff like that. That'd be fine, but they haven't announced it yet, and they keep saying, well, the X4, is the comparable runner-up to the 1-inch. I've seen the comparisons between the 8K footage and the 1-inch 4K footage, and I actually think the 1-inch footage looks better. Now, I haven't seen it in a headset, and so obviously those extra pixels would help, but I definitely think that there's a market for a 1-inch camera, especially if we could ever find especially if you get one that would do 180. But there you go. I have a Zoom H3 VR. It's nice enough unit to use, but post is a real pain. Yeah, see, I mean, mine export as left-right channels. That's it. And because that's how they're recorded. But it's all about how the waveforms are recorded into the microphones, because, the 3DO, it's a very simple design, but it literally just has silicone ears that are, when it picks up voices or sounds or whatever, the the waveforms just bounce off of the silicone ear, which is the same size as a human ear, and go into the microphone that's in the middle of the ear. And then it exports as left, right. And it's really simple. Like, it's a simple post. And I love that. Post edit. And I love that because if you're trying to do experience, if you're trying to help people have the experience that you had, this might be a little bulky. Like, it's a little heavy. It's probably two pounds or so. And don't take it through TSA because it'll shut down it'll shut down the TSA line. I've done that numerous times. Don't take it through TSA. But if you can figure out a way to mount it and carry it, like on my selfie stick for the Insta360, I just actually used a bottom mount, like a hot shoe, cold shoe mount, and snap it on there, tighten it down, and plug in the it's a 3.5 jack, and so I plug that into a audio recorder, and I just record left, right. It's very easy. I should 3D scan my own ears. Oh, there you go. Then it would literally be as you heard it. This would make a great ambient microphone. Like if you could post this in the middle of an auditorium where the sound is good and you're using microphones and stuff, it would be a great ambient microphone. I agree. I bought my 1-inch 360 just before the X4 was released. My regret over missing the 4X lasted about 4 seconds. I bet someone could replicate that with a TPU filament and a 3D printer. Agreed. Definitely could replicate it and customize it. Because actually I think the way that these silicone ears are put on here is just by 4 little screws. Yeah. 4 little screws. So if you took those out, you could put your own on there if you wanted. That'd be pretty cool. Mine have a lot of like these fibers on it, so it doesn't look great. But if you walk around with these things exposed, people give you the weirdest looks. And so if you're trying to be nonchalant about your recording and you're just there to kind of record the experience, definitely get yourself a set of headphone muffs so that you cover up those ears. And they work just the same. They actually are a great windscreen for the microphones. So I still highly recommend the 3DO microphone. You have to be having enough experiences to make it worth the investment, but it's a great little mic. And they got very popular for various reasons, we'll say. But anyway, so yeah, Insta360, I'm really holding my breath at NAB. You're going to give me a 1-inch camera to get all excited about and save my pennies over. I'm not holding my breath because that wouldn't be advisable. It wouldn't be wise because I'll go blue in the face. But there you go. Oh, yeah. I told you this. We had a power outage last night. And so my whole house reset. That was annoying. It went off right as the kids were going to sleep, but my smart house was still on. So if it came on in the night, everything was going to come back up. Hey, this is cool. Chad sent me this picture. Check this out. This is a cool little freight case he's got going on. He's got his Blackmagic. I assume those are studio converters. Or are they? What are those? Because they have an SD card slot. That's cool. And then there's your Bird Dog 4K rack-mounted unit. And then these look like, what are they, AJAs or something? But anyways, that's a nice little freight case you got going on there. Looks really nice. I like it. Okay, I feel like there was something else I was going to talk to you guys about, and now I can't remember. Of course, that's how it always goes. I should write these things down. I say that every time as well. But regardless, we're having a rip-roaring time. Well, there's a project. I have both a printer and a scanner. How would you scan your ears? Like you have a 3D scanner? That's interesting. Now, I should probably say, like, if I wanted to be really serious about it, I'd have to do some sort of capital campaign. But I think I think Insta360 thinks that the 1-inch sensor is for like people doing homes, like home viewing virtual tours and whatever. But there are products out there from Insta360 that I believe do 3D video, but it's like a huge unit. I could be wrong. Let's look here. Yes, so there is the Insta360 Pro 2, and this unit is a 360 3D camera. And I can't imagine the amount. I mean, well, first of all, it's $5,000, but I can't imagine how big those files are and like how to process those files. Now, it looks like a little Star Wars droid, which is kind of cool. But that thing is ridiculously expensive. And so they have the Pro 2, and then they have the Titan, for some reason, out of stock at $16,000. I can't imagine how you would justify that purchase. You know, even this is in stock and it's $5,000. I just can't. I want a 3D camera. They don't offer a single one. Here's the 1-inch, also temporarily out of stock. But see, look, co-engineered with the same. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm really hoping that they come out and say, "Oh no, that we're doing an upgrade to the 1-inch sensor." Man, I would be all over that. Spring sale. This makes me think that they're coming out with something new, because they're offering $50, $60, $75 off. Stupid action cameras. Look at this. $300 for the Insta360 2. Wait a minute, what? Versatile. Oh, okay. $300 for the X3. Flow Pro, that looks cool. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. It's $100. That might even be worth it. Just to turn your own phone. This is just a stabilizer though. And then here's your webcam. That's kind of a cool idea that it follows you around. But again, I'm not a yoga instructor, and I'm not doing meetings in places where I need that. But it's still kind of a cool idea. I kind of like the AI tracking stuff. I hope it gets really robust, because man, that would be very convenient to buy a camera and not have to have a cameraman. Sonnet Thunderbolt dock to 4K HDMI converter and Ultra Studio 4K for key and fill. Right on. That's so cool. Yep, a Creality 3D scanner. Ooh. The Pro 2 and the Titan. It takes multiple SD cards, if I'm not mistaken. I bought one of those stabilizers. They work beautifully for B-roll. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Oh. Interesting. B-roll. Okay. Yeah, all right. That's a very interesting statement you just made. For $100 or $110, that's not a bad. It's not a bad deal. You know. Let's just see. Oh, DJI has one for $70. What is the difference? Well, I guess we'll have to investigate. What's the difference between DJI's $60 one and Flow 2 Pro? Why would you need that? Flow 2 Pro. We got videos here? Yeah.
This video will introduce you to free tilt mode on Insta360 Flow2 Pro. Free tilt mode allows you to break the tilt axis limitation and enable creative movements like crane shots, orbit shots, dolly shots, and low-angle transitions. With the gimbal powered on, extend the built-in selfie stick slightly. Rotate the gimbal arm counterclockwise 45 degrees. Ensure the hinge on the selfie stick is facing you. Then bend the gimbal arm toward you until it stops. Hold the gimbal arm with your left hand and use your right hand to twist the grip counterclockwise 45 degrees so that the triangle mark points to on. Double tap the trigger button to activate free tilt mode. By default, the gimbal is in PF mode. Press the M button to switch to auto mode. Double tap the trigger to recenter the gimbal. Hold the gimbal arm with your left hand and use your right hand to twist the grip clockwise 45 degrees so that the triangle mark points to off. Bend the gimbal arm away from you. Retract the built-in selfie stick. If there's a gap between the grip and the built-in selfie stick after retracting it, or if the gimbal doesn't recenter properly after exiting free tilt mode, it is likely because the triangle mark is still pointing to on. If that happens, extend the built-in selfie stick and twist the grip clockwise 45 degrees so that the triangle mark points to off. Feel free to watch more videos to learn more about Flow2 Pro.
Interesting. Angus had said, yeah, the
Welcome to
Insta360
this
has some
tutorial video
integration
for
with OS level tracking for
Insta360
newer
Flow2 Pro.
iPhones, and the Insta360
This guide will
also has
walk
some
you through the
remarkably good
first
tracking
steps of
on its
using
own.
your Flow2 Pro.
When you say newer phones, how
Align
new?
the arrow on the magnetic phone clamp with your phone's camera direction.
Oh,
Securely attach the clamp to the center of your phone. Match the clip's groove with the gimbal's red dot and interface as shown. For iPhone users, alternatively, use the magnetic clamp for easier installation. During installation, ensure the indicator line on the accessory is perpendicular to the bottom edge of the phone.
jeez.
Hold the gimbal handle securely with your right hand. Use your left hand to grasp the arm as shown, and gently apply force in the direction of the arrow. Then extend. You're ready to go. Once expanded, the gimbal's auto node light will remain on, indicating it's active. If the mode light stays red and the gimbal does not stabilize, check that the magnetic clamp is installed correctly. Ensure the small red dot is fully pressed and secure. Press and hold the power button to selfie stick and the gimbal up, then turn on Bluetooth. Connect your device to Wi-Fi and enable cellular data. Then turn on Bluetooth. Download the latest version of the Insta360 app. Open the app and follow the prompts to
I
enable
100%
all
don't have the
necessary
latest app.
permissions. Once the app is open, it will automatically detect the gimbal. Follow the on-screen instructions to complete the activation process. Once activated, you'll be directed to the shooting interface. After the first activation, the gimbal will automatically connect to the app every time it's powered on. Use NFC for quick pairing with compatible devices. For iOS users, enjoy native tracking through Apple Docket. On Android, enable one-touch connection for simplified, faster shooting. The gimbal is equipped with
I can figure out the charging.
as an output. To charge
Wait.
the ports, charge other devices.
Oh, that's cool.
Handy when you're on the go. When the gimbal is off or stored, all indicator lights will be turned off. To charge other devices, connect your device to the gimbal first. Then press the M button to activate this feature. When powered off, press the M button to check the battery level. Long press the M button to power on the gimbal. Press the M button 3 times to put the gimbal into sleep mode.
Audio.
During this
Wait,
time,
what's
the
wrong with my
mode
audio?
lights will slowly fade on and off. Press any key to reactivate the gimbal.
All indications show that it's working.
After turning on the
I can hear
gimbal, tap the M button to cycle through modes in a clockwise sequence. Double tap the M button to switch modes in reverse. All
Does not
modes
come
are
in
shown
iPad
here.
size, as I understand it.
To start shooting, press the trigger
Check
button.
your audio, Angus, because mine's working.
Tap the switch button to toggle between front and rear cameras. Double tap to switch phone orientation. Use the joystick to adjust the gimbal composition.
Is it too loud? Is that what you're upset about, Angus?
Turn the smart wheel left or right and release to quickly adjust zoom levels. Slowly turning the wheel will create a smoother zoom.
Oh, this video
During shooting, press the trigger button to activate
the
Deep
video's
Tracking
loud, I'm
4.0. The circular light
There we
will
go.
turn green,
Any better?
indicating tracking is active.
That should be
The gimbal will
remarkably
automatically
better.
capture targets in the frame. To turn off, simply tap the
Copy
trigger
that.
button again.
Thank you, guys.
Short press the C button to activate a 360-degree panorama.
This video is long, yeah.
Time.
All right,
Okay.
cool. Yada yada yada,
Be sure
yada yada. It's a Seinfeld reference. All right, that's pretty cool.
This video will
Jeez.
introduce you to one-tap NFC pairing for Android on Flow 2 Pro.
Hush, ma'am.
Android users can effortlessly connect
All right.
via NFC.
I am an
and
iPhone
start
user, so we
creating.
will bypass that.
This video will explain how to use the native tracking of Apple Docket with Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. iPhone users can seamlessly connect to their Flow 2 Pro gimbal with NFC to enable Apple Docket's intelligent tracking function.
That's cool.
This feature uses the iPhone's camera and keeps the subject in the shot at all times. It's also compatible with third-party apps such as FaceTime and Twitch. With this function, you can easily get professional-looking footage that's perfect for everything from short-form video to live streams.
I love how this lady is
Unlock
just
your iPhone
not
and
concerned
keep it on
about
the home
making
screen.
sure that it looks good.
Then unfold your Flow 2 Pro and turn it on. The auto mode indicator light will turn red and stay on.
See, that would drive me crazy.
iPhone's
I feel like I
NFC reader
always
on
need a
Flow 2
confidence monitor in
Pro's
order to
NFC
see.
sensing area.
Like right now, I'm watching vMix output on my teleprompter.
Place your iPhone
Just so
in
I
the
know what it
magnetic
looks
phone
like.
clamp and tap connect on
You
the
know.
pop-up prompt.
And then I also have a camera view which shows all my color and
The light
everything
will turn green.
up there.
Now your phone is
So-
plugged to your gimbal and will automatically connect on subsequent use.
That's
If
pretty
the
cool.
connection fails, confirm that both the Bluetooth and NFC options are enabled on your phone and that you have a network connection. Then try again. After enabling intelligent tracking, Flow 2 Pro will start tracking whoever appears in the frame. The tracking ring light will also start slowly pulsing green.
Pretty cool.
To enable or disable the intelligent tracking function, just click the trigger button. When the light is glowing green, intelligent tracking is enabled. The light is off when it has been disabled. When smart tracking is enabled, Apple Watch users
Ooh,
can
there's an
control
Apple
Flow 2
Watch
Pro
app.
remotely. First,
Let's see
open
this.
the camera app on your Apple Watch. Then swipe the screen to manually control the rotation of the Flow 2 Pro's
Oh, that's pretty
gimbal.
cool. I mean,
After
kind of
finding the
useless,
target
but
of
pretty
your
cool.
video,
Oh, there you go.
Tap them on your watch screen to make them the focus of the intelligent tracking. The above is the tutorial for Apple Dock-Kit tracking with Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. Stay
Yeah,
tuned for more
I mean, that's pretty slick.
Insta360 tutorial video.
That's kind of cool. So here they want 159. Is it on sale right now at Insta? Is that why it's less expensive? Flow series. That's the first one. Flow Pro 2. Yeah. Best seller, but it's not on sale. Why? Wait. What's the story here? All-in-one kit includes 360 Flow Pro, magnetic phone clamp, spotlight. What does the standard come with? Magnetic clip. Yeah, okay. That's what we were wanting, right? Okay, so 160. Curious. Well, anyway, okay. Like, could you connect a different camera to it? Not an iPhone? So, like, could I connect my Evo to it? Put it in 180 mode and put that little clip on it, right? And then snap that into the Flow Pro, and then you wouldn't have the phone communication with the device, but would it still be able to follow you? That's interesting. I don't know. But anyways, that's really cool. I mean, for B-roll, that would be great. You're right. I think that would be a good way to capture additional footage at the show. It's tempting. Very tempting. Okay, well, we are past time. It's 11:30. I don't know if you guys got to catch Tom Sinclair's show yesterday. He was updating to Windows 11 and classic update problems of it taking forever and never finishing. It was great. So he had an extended show of just him trying to update stuff, and then he's like, well, I got to go back to work, so I'm just going to leave this up. If you guys want to watch it, go. And he just left it up for a while. So he eventually did sign off, but it was funny to watch him do that. But yeah, so I'm on Windows 11 running vMix, and it works just fine. I haven't had any major issues. Matter of fact, I would argue that it's been working better. vMix has been working better for me than it has in the past. So things are more stable, it seems. Oh yeah, and last but not least, I need you guys to head on over to where is it here? bird-dog.tv or birddog.tv at this point. And if you scroll down, nope, not if you scroll down. If you go to the keyboard products, keyboard, PTZ keyboard, what? Where's KBD? Oh, right here. KBD overview. Where is it? Oh, right there. Oh, that's confusing. Okay, so if you go here, there is a new tutorial which should be on this site, which it's not. Oh my gosh, for crying out loud. Go to youtube.com, look up Bird Dog. That's annoying. All right, here we go. Bird Dog. Hopefully this isn't, yeah, okay. Oh, look who it is. If we go to videos, there, KBD unboxing. You know who this is? This is my boy Christian Frink.
I'm Christian with Bird Dog.
He's hanging out. Looks like hanging out in my old office. He's got some new lights. That's cool. But he does a full-on legit unboxing and then explanation of all the features in the video. So, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I hope that this keyboard is everything that this tutorial says it is, because that would be fantastic. But I know this is my office because of this shot right here that he's using. Let's see. Does he ever go to it? No. Well, anyway, this shot right here, that curtain is next to a window, which is where this camera is sitting. That camera is on a windowsill. And that's where I used to shoot that whole series of shows, was right there in that seat. He's using, I think, a USB microphone because he's not using the XLR on the GatorWorks framework microphone arm, which is a little strange, but he maybe didn't. Actually, let me look. Where's his video here? There. Yeah, that looks like it's USB, which I left all the XLR interfaces and everything, so they could have bought a nicer mic. But anyways, this is a $100 microphone. It's okay, and I think it captures his voice just fine, but it doesn't require XLR. So anyways, check out Christian's new video. It's got his sense of humor in it, which is great. He is now a project manager over there, which quite frankly, doesn't surprise me because his work ethic leads him to that sort of position. So well done, Christian. And yeah, he does a good little walkthrough. So check that out sometime. Give it a few views. Don't forget to like the video. All right. That's it for me. I think that's everything. So you guys have a great week. We will we'll carry on next week. Thanks for coming along for the unboxing. We're getting awfully close to NAB, and so we're going to start gearing up for that, testing some gear, making sure that we're all set for checking out booths. At the very least, it'll just be me talking about the stuff that I'm finding. I might get to interview people, but that's not what I'm going for. But me and my coworker Dave, we will be doing some filming. And that B-roll idea from the Flow Pro 2 is a good idea. So holding my breath for Insta360. Also, Angus, you said, have a great day. You have a great day too, man. You said that the R5 and R7 have lenses. Canon R5, is that what you said? They have 360 lenses. How much is this camera? $3,000. Get out of here. What sort of Canon 180 lens? Why did they make it only for VR lens? Let's do this. Yeah, there we go. So this is the RF5. Just jump over here real quick. Why did they only make it for the RF5? Right? What's the mount? Canon's EOS VR system. L series RF lens mounts. Yeah, it's RF5 and RF7, 3D VR. Why only for the RF5 and RF7? Why not make it an M mount, or why not make it an R mount, or a EF mount for that matter? Like, oh, that's frustrating. Because that would be so cool. Have that option on a camera. Oh dear, reviews are not hot. Then again, people usually leave reviews to complain. So if we scoot down here, it has potential. Desperately seeking Apple Vision Pro support. Useless for 3D still image processing. Well, that's not something to really complain about. I don't think that's what it's for. RF Lens World. All right, well, flange distance is way too close for EF. The L series is the mount that Panasonic replaced the MTF with, right? The M mount is long since orphaned. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of annoyed by that. Is there a M mount to... What is this mount? Is it a It's not a proprietary mount, right? Oh no, Angus got beamed into space. Wait, what? R5 and R7. What happened? Oh man. Why? Why did you get canceled? Angus, I don't know why they kicked you out of the chat. I don't see any problem. View deleted. You didn't write anything. Why? Nightbot, you fail. Let's find out why Nightbot did that. Because that's silly. And you know what? I'm going to... What's your handle, Angus? Oh, there you are. It's RF and RFS mount. What happened to me? Yeah, you got launched into space for some reason. Thanks a lot, Nightbot. So it's L mount. I'm so confuzzled. Sorry about that, buddy. Panasonic still makes the MFT lenses. Canon doesn't do any L mounts. No, you're here. Huh. Hey, you're back. Canon doesn't do any L mounts, really? But what is this mount? Ooh, I think Amazon was listening. Because M compatible for M lenses. No, those are Nikons. EF EOS mount. Nope. Canon EOS M mount adapter for what? For mirrorless. Oh man, that's annoying. So RF to RFS. RF for the R5. RFS for the R7. What are they asking for this lens? $1,800? My goodness. That seems pricey. All right, so we can say RF and RFS. And then VR? Just the one lens. Oh, wait. It didn't change. It just has this. Okay. So let's just say VR lenses. Oh, it's still just one. Maybe we should rent it. And we're going to have to YouTube this. We're going to have to review this because there's no way. This is actually from Canon. Dual fisheye. VR basics. What not to do. Okay. Oh, here. This is just straight up video. Banff. Canon M is long dead. You won't be able to make proper use of it on your camera. It should physically mount, but you have the RF mount. Would it be cropped? Is that the problem? What the? Who's that dude? That is not room service at Banff. I don't understand what it is that we're watching here. Oh, that's what we're watching. Okay. Auto at 4K. I mean, this video looks crazy clean. It's probably look like this in a VR headset. Interesting. The video will let you spin around. Nope, the camera's firmware just doesn't support it. Gosh, Canon. I love my Canon camera, but it has some serious limitations to it that are really frustrating. I wonder what this experience costs these people. What the? It's speeding up. lot of pools. These people are here to swim, apparently. What does stock food and drink mean? Here are two people eating by a window. Oh. It's like a brand or something. Jeez. Keep it going here, folks. Yeah, like this. I'd be interested in seeing this. That's pretty cool. Ooh. What you got going on here, boy? You got a slider or something?
Feel that cool Rocky Mountain
Forest bathing in Banff. What? Forest bathing? What the heck? That's not real, kids.
directly into your heart.
Stop it. Okay, this is a little more flat if you zoom in slightly. I mean, it's campfire on the terrace. This girl's trying hard not to look at the camera. My R7 is a great camera, but the R5 blows out of the water. Really? It fits on the R7? Banff Springs, Fairmont. Oh, okay. The R7 is not astronomical like I thought it might be. The R5 is $2,000. So what makes it so much crazy more expensive? Let me pull up my... I'm guessing this isn't an official Canon video. It seems kind of strangely produced. Yeah, it was more of like an experience of a Banff. They make two lenses. One for the R7. Do they? I'm a little gun shy because it's like, are they going to cancel the R series if you invest in a camera like that? Because I invested in the RP and then it was like, never mind. Canon R7 VR lens. Oh, there it is. So it's $1,000 for the VR lens. Here it is. Which is a lot for a lens because you're also going to pay you're also going to pay $1,500 for the body of the camera. I like that it's nice and clean like that, but this is way more of an investment than getting something like an Insta360. It's just like, there it is right here. Look, body only, and yeah. If I could sell my camera and get $300 or $400, that might be something to consider. But John, what are you on about? The R5 is full frame versus the APS C-size sensor on the R7, and it's got a much higher end processing. The RP takes the RF lenses. No, I know that but I also am like the M mounts were like their next wave. They touted them like crazy, and then all of a sudden they're like, nobody wants to adopt those. I'm actually confused as to why they weren't making the RF system, which everybody has. Oh, I'm sorry, the EF system, which everybody had with the Canon T series. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of those lenses up for sale right now because it's just not the latest and greatest, you know. You can buy dozens, if not hundreds, of brand new current lenses for your RP. You know what I can't buy? I can't buy a fisheye 180 VR lens for my RP. I don't understand why you feel abandoned by your RP. Just a little bit. It's a great camera, mind you. I take it everywhere. I try to take it everywhere, but people call me a professional photographer if I'm holding it, which I think is hilarious. I'm like, this is just a Canon RP, you know that, right? But anyway, I'm not going on about that. I do understand that there are lenses out for my camera right now. I I would just like to add this guy on there, and I can't. Let's see here. If we go down to, and I don't suspect they'll be coming out with a VR lens for my camera. So let's just type in RP and see what the Amazon AI comes back with. Fisheye is designed for the APS-C sensor cameras of the EOS, allowing da 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 da. Yeah. That's a shame. I'd love to get something like that. An EF to RF adapter works like a charm. Yeah, I have one of those. It crops my sensor, though. I leave it on my... I have a 70 to 200 millimeter lens, and I just leave it on there, and it's just a part of that lens. And it's fine. I mean, I'm zooming in on that anyways, right? So it's not the end of the world. But this is a 50... just a straight 50 mil RF lens. Yeah, so probably still stick with, if Insta360 surprises us and comes out with a 1-inch lens, that would be great. It seems like the cameras that I'm interested in, and I'm open to actually other brands, mind you, because I would love to, actually, let's just peek at this real quick. 360 camera. Let's just see what Amazon kicks back other than Insta360. So, again, some things look a lot like Insta360. Insta's there. There were some other brands out there. GoPro has a 360 camera, but it's not any cheaper, and it's not a 1-inch, that's for sure. If I say 360 camera 1-inch VR, now let's see what comes back. Okay, these are not 1-inch cameras. Is there a place to put that in here? Lens size? No. Hey, there's your VR handy recorder. Oh my goodness. Wow. The Samsung 360. That's old school right there. The EF to RF shouldn't crop your sensor. Yeah, it does. Full frame EF lens will be identical to the RF full frame lens. Yeah, no, that's... Whoa. I mean, I haven't seen that in so long. This thing I used to remember that they would overheat a whole lot. I haven't seen this Kodak one either. Can't believe they're actually showing up here. Apparently, there haven't really been any innovations in the 360 world. I'll have to look again, Angus. I'm pretty sure it does crop it, because the extra space required for the mount ends up cropping the image. This thing, I can't imagine why that didn't take off. Wowzers, Kodak. Yeah, some of these are very old cameras. It's like it's like I went back to 2019 and typed in 360 cameras. There's not a whole lot in here. Let's just see best 360 1-inch cameras. Let's see what comes up here. Expert reviews. All around perfect. The best 360 cameras in 2025. Insta360 X4, the GoPro Max 360, the Theta X, which Ben Claremont, he does a lot of Theta X reviews, or comparisons at least. The X3, Insta 1 is 6th. Oh, that's surprising. Can I go to that review real fast? Nope, stop it. Where is it here? 6. Really easy to film with. Mobile app. Screen is a bit small for touch controls. Those 1-inch sensors hike the cost. Really? Buy it if you want good low light. If you love whatever this brand is. The co-engineering on the lens seems to pay off. If you want to keep the cost down, don't buy it. If you want good battery life, the battery block on this system is only 1350 milliamps. Really? That's interesting. You can still buy it at B&H, evidently. A 70 to 200 lens is a 70 to 200 lens. Yeah, Angus, here, I read this somewhere. Let me go back here real quick. Hang on. It's been a long time since I bought this mount. Here it is. Oh, you purchased another version of this. It's not showing me my purchase. Apparently, I don't make it anymore. I mean, it does work. I just have to find it. Or perhaps I'm mistaken, which is also very possible. One moment, please. You definitely are. It's very possible. Man, I don't know. If that's not true, then I don't know where I got that from. Because I guess I was always under the impression that if I put on the mount, the EF mount for the, it's a RF, it's an RF to EF mount. The RF mount. The lens image will be a smaller circle in the center of the frame. You can crop your photo to a rectangle fitting inside of that circle, but then you lose more than half of your resolution. You'll be working with the APS-C image size. So pretty much defeats the purpose of getting a full frame sensor. When an EF lens is used on a full-frame Canon RF mount camera through the adapter, the camera automatically crops the image to match the sensor size, typically by a factor of 1.6. This cropping ensures that the entire image circle of the EF lens is captured without vignetting. However, third-party EF lenses may not trigger the automatic cropping, requiring manual adjustment. Additionally, RF lenses designed for APS-C sensors can be used on full-frame RF cameras, but will also automatically crop the image to APS-C dimensions. So I think that's what I was reading, was that the EF mounts do like, let's see here. Mirrorless cameras can benefit from a shorter flange distance. Bye again, Angus. Oh, you got kicked out? Hang on. I gotta just, hang on. What's your handle on, let me look at your channel real quick. Okay, copy. I'll just put you in here as a regular, and then that should go away. Added as a regular YouTube chat. Let's see, what did you say this time? Getting all saucy. There's flange, is that why? Chad, you're going in here too. Good old NetHab. Add a regular. Yoink. There we go. All right, guys. Regulars are given extra privileges, apparently. There you go. If you're a regular, I'm going to make you excess cap. No. Excess symbols, repetitions. There we go. Okay. That, you shouldn't get kicked out anymore. Okay. So, let's go back to the chat real quick. So it's just an automatic crop for the APS-C lenses. So I can make disparaging remarks now and I find, yes, I think so. Woo. What a dreadful bot. So the cropping that you're reading is just about EFS lenses on full frame cameras. Correct. Which I guess I don't think I'm using. Oh, shoot. That's weird. I thought I had that lens up here. Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, weird. There's like, now that I realize it, there's very little writing on this lens. Well, let's have a little look-see. Orders. Was I just talking too much? No. I think it was thinking that you were saying things that you weren't allowed to say, but hey, how'd I do? Nightbot's mama is so fat that her battery needs a Tesla supercharger. This just claims to be a Canon EF lens, so there's no -S or anything to it. So you're right. Then it's not cropping this one. Man, I don't know where I got it in my head that that's what was going on, but clearly not. And this is a 70-300 lens. Here's that adapter that's on the back of that thing. So again, apparently they don't make that one anymore. But there you go. So let's go ahead and look at telephoto lenses for for RF mount. Ooh, 100 to 400. I think I've looked at these before, have I not? This one is 55 to 210. That's not really, I wouldn't necessarily call that telephoto, but maybe it is. It's not really much on this list of things that like grab my attention, you know? Canon. Whoa, 150 to 600? My goodness. For EF mount. That's not what I asked for. Boy, that's a big one. It has its own case. I would need a bigger Pelican case, so I was going to get something that big. Oh, shoot. It's past noon. I got to go. Hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. Always a blast. And yeah, really appreciate you guys hanging on and educating me on all the things. Always need a little guidance. So, yeah, good times. And I'll plan to be back next week because I'm back in town. The next time I'm away is probably NAB. So we'll do a few weeks of shows here and then come back. By then I should have my laptop that will be plugged into the dock that'll be here on my desk, fully installed by the next show. So that'll be fun. And let's pray for no more power outages and see how it goes. So good times, everybody. Be well. Take care of yourselves. And as always, look after each other. Look after yourselves. And we will see you guys in the next one. Hey, have a great day too, Angus. You too, Chad. We will, check you guys a little bit later. Yeah, we'll come back next week. So take care of yourselves. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I really appreciate it. We'll see you later.